So who doesn't enjoy a completely free app that makes life easier, whether it's taking faster notes, organizing your life, and having less to do on your list? Here are the 7 top free apps I personally use every day to run my online business, learn, note take, and just make my life that much simpler. Just before we dive into the 7 apps, a big thanks to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this video, but more on this later. Hey there, Andrew here, hope you're all well. Starting with the very first free app I use day to day, which is Fireshot. This very simple app is essentially screenshots on steroids. With default screenshots, they're usually pretty limited in that they only capture a section of your screen and that is it. If you want to edit the screenshot, you'll need to edit it with another app such as Photoshop, or the most annoying part is if you want to capture an entire website, you have to screenshot multiple times and stitch all the screenshots together. Fireshot is an absolute godsend if you need to capture that entire page as a single screenshot. For example, if I want to capture this entire page here, all I'd have to do is click capture entire page. It'll do its thing and boom, it stitches all the screenshots together into a single page screenshot. The best part is you can immediately download the image as a JPEG, PDF, email it, or copy it directly to paste to somebody else. So whether you're reporting to clients and need to take screenshots, you need to download a full article as a PDF, or whatever your use case is, this free app is going to save you loads of time and tinkering when it comes to screenshots. And by the way, I'll leave all the direct links to the apps mentioned in this video in the description box below for convenience. Next up, we have Calendly. If you're someone who's constantly busy, finds scheduling in time with others an inconvenience, or you work with international clients or the above, which is my pick, Calendly is an app that's going to save a lot of time going back and forth organizing a meeting. Usually when we book a meeting, we ask what their availability is, and then you send a few emails trying to find a mutual time that suits all parties. It's even worse when my suppliers, clients, and team are in all sorts of different time zones across the world. But using Calendly though, you just input simple rules like I am free from 9 AM to 7 PM in my time zone, and the maximum meeting time should be 30 minutes, for example. Then you'd share your personalized link directly to the other person, and they just pick a time, and the events are added to both your calendars automatically with reminders on. This also works with more than just 2 people. So personally, I use it for setting up meetings where I know it might be a tad bit difficult to decide on a time because our availability is pretty poor. And we also use it for our mastery education programs where potential students all across the world are able to schedule in a time with our strategist, Derek, who's over in New York. All they need to do is find an available time on this embedded form here on our website, and then they can automatically schedule in a time to chat. Another common way to take advantage of Calendly is to add your personalized link into your email signature so others have direct access to you and don't need to email you directly to book in some time to chat. This alone, I think, would save plenty of time every day, and the auto rule setting saves you from unnecessary calls being booked. Now, when it comes to note taking, I have an app for extremely detailed notes, and then I have another app for scribbles and quick thoughts. The worst thing to happen is to have an idea pop up as a thought, and then I try and hold it in my mind while I'm in between a task of some sort, and then have that idea disappear into the dark void of my goldfish brain. So whenever it comes to quick, easy notes, I use Typora, which is completely free to use, and again, something I wouldn't mind paying for, but it is a relatively new app currently in beta testing. The reason I use Typora over, say, for example, Apple Notes, Google Keep, Evernote, or OneNote is simply because it is absolutely distraction free. There's literally no preview window, there's no toolbar or different types of modes, just a simple clean window to jot down your thoughts and ideas. As you can see, it is super minimal, but you can still add in images, headers, list, tables, and even diagrams and code fences if you need them. A nifty mode I like to use when I'm typing out longer thoughts is the focus and typewriter mode. Basically, what this does is center the text into the middle of your screen, and then it blurs out the text you're not currently typing, as you can see here. So I basically just use Typora to jot down random notes and transfer them over to other different apps, which I'll mention in this video if I want to build upon them. Super minimal and enjoyable app to use. So now this brings us to the free apps I like to use when I want to focus a bit better or more intentionally. Music is a big part of my day every day. I constantly have music playing, but blasting rap, for example, personally isn't the best idea when I need to do deep thought work, as much as I love blasting some Drake. Nosili is a free web-based app I use to easily switch on and customize white sounds and binaural beats when I want to focus deeply. Whether this is more placebo than scientifically proven to help you focus is debatable.
Well, that's debatable.
Brain.fm is also a similar app that I also use. Similar concept, but without the customization and options. So if you're looking for something to just, sort of like hit play with and start working, check out BrainFM too. Speaking of working late into the night, I use Flux to dynamically adjust color temperature based on the time of day or location. Why is this important? Well, because at night, your monitor's blue light is too harsh for your eyes, which means it could impact your sleep patterns and put unnecessary strain on our eyes. An easy fix to this problem is adjusting the color temperature of your screen to a warmer hue so the screen doesn't sort of like blind you at night. If you have a Mac like I do, you might be wondering why I choose to use Flux when this feature is actually organically integrated into the Mac OS system. The monitor that I'm using right now, which is an Alienware 38-inch ultra wide, unfortunately isn't supported right now by Mac's night shift mode from what I understand. So I'm using Flux in place of it. But as soon as I started using Flux, I find it to be way more customizable anyway. So with night shift, you can set when night shift activates and then choose a color temperature on a scale of less warm to more warm. It offers an insane variety of options. You can choose the temperature of your screen during the day, at sunset, sunrise. You can also set it at bedtime. You can choose from various color presets or create your own. There's even a night owl setting for those who actually prefer to work late into the evening. It even also allows you to set how long the transitions between the color last, what time you get up on the weekend, and you can set reminders when it's getting close to your bedtime. Maybe most importantly though, Flux reduces dramatically more blue and green screen light than Mac's night shift mode. As you can see here on screen, the difference is quite dramatic. There's a lot more blue light that is reduced with Flux. Moving on to password management, I use LastPass to manage all my passwords, and let me tell you, I don't even know how I managed to get through life without this app and without a password manager in general. LastPass is a popular password manager that securely holds the keys to your digital life essentially, and there's a free plan you can use indefinitely. And before you think to use your browser's password manager, they honestly can't compete with dedicated password managers like LastPass. The biggest problem with storing passwords on your browser is it's completely not encrypted, so people could access the passwords on your computer and view them, and there's that potential security breach problem right there. And I sure hope you're not using one password for all your logins, because that is literally the holy grail of digital faux pas. And apparently, according to a Virginia Tech study, more than 50% of people are doing this, which is kind of mind-blowing. And if this is you, please get a password manager right after this video for your own sake. So whenever I'm now creating a new password, I get this nifty pop-up asking if I want to generate a secure password. And there's an option to include things such as symbols, numbers, a certain character length. And then once you've logged in for the first time, LastPass will auto save all your secure passwords into a secure vault, and then will auto log in when you access a site's login page. It is all pretty convenient and automated. It's one of those apps that you can just set up and forget, so you can declutter your mind and focus on being productive on things that actually matter to you. When you get this app though, just make sure that you turn on two-factor authentication on your master password, and make sure that all the necessary backup security is activated so your passwords are protected like Fort Knox. So earlier I talked about using music to focus when working or studying, but on the other hand, Epidemic sound is what I use when it comes to royalty-free music for work. This could be creating ads, videos for businesses, or a YouTube channel, for example. Basically, when it comes to accessing a big library of royalty-free music for our businesses, Epidemic Sound gives us access to over 35,000 tracks and 90,000 sound effects. For example, if I'm creating a new Facebook ad, I'd typically spend a big chunk of time trying to find a decent music track that suits the ad itself and is also royalty-free. But instead of wasting an hour, I'd log into Epidemic Sound, sift through their library of tracks. So I might go by mood, for example, this time around, and then I'd go for the sentimental vibe for my content. And then I'd sort by length, beats per minute, and vocals, and I'll usually find a track I like within minutes. If you're a business or freelancer that works with music and sound effects, check out their commercial plan, which covers you for all the work that you produce. If you're using music for your own personal projects, the personal plan covers you for the music you use without running into copyright issues, which is extremely important. The music and sound effects you're hearing in this video right now actually is sourced through Epidemic Sound. So if you ever need to use quality royalty-free music without spending loads of your time searching for it, you can get a full 3-month trial on Epidemic Sound in the description box below, so go check it out. And thanks again to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this video. Now, a drum roll for the final free app I use for productivity day to day, which is none other than Notion. Notion is freaking amazing, and there are good reasons it's growing in popularity. Everything I do is now through Notion, from running businesses through Notion to personal life admin stuff. Notion is literally my second brain at this point in time. It's a very flexible productivity app where you can do all sorts of things like take notes, build systems, create comprehensive to-do lists, habit trackers, calendars, and even Kanban boards, which is essentially like a board that visualizes all your progress. All that, and we're just scratching the surface of what this app can do. I've tried a lot of different note-taking, to-do, and organization apps and software over the years, and none of them come close to Notion. And just to make it clear, this video is not sponsored by Notion. I'm just a big fan of this app. I think what sets Notion apart from the many different productivity apps out there is the fact that it's so flexible. It can do almost anything. It gives you a workspace and the tools to turn it into something that suits your needs. For example, on screen, you can see that I've turned this specific page into a mission control type page where I can navigate to all sorts of pages that I've created, from the different businesses that I run to all the personal things that I track. I also particularly like the powerful database and template features within Notion, so I'm able to quickly create new branching pages and have them update and connect to one another, which is a bit of a more advanced feature. I'm a big believer in less is more, so the fact that I have all my notes, team wikis, to-do functionality, and more in a single space rather than, let's say, 10 different apps all over the place is absolutely huge to me. Okay, so if you made it this far into the video, be sure to drop the code word comment efficiency down below. I'll link a video here of my desk setup if you're looking for more ideas on how to maximize productivity and do your best work day to day by upgrading your desk space. Give this video a thumbs up if it has helped you out. Subscribe to this channel if you want more tech, business, and marketing tutorials delivered to you. And as always, thank you for watching.